welcome to the channel. This is Go Gretty and welcome to my guide to the World Touring Car 800 at the Daytona International Speedway. In this guide, I will show you how to complete this race, finishing first in a Group 3 car in the highest game setting. So stick around, check it out. We'll get you that first place you've been hunting for. All right, from the world map, go to the world circuits, click on that. It'll bring you in there. Go to the Americas and then scooch on over to the Daytona International Speedway and then go to the right there to the World Touring Car 800. You can see I got that first place now. It is an 8-time fuel race and a 12-time tire race. You can select any of the tires you would like, and you can select any car as long as it's a PP 800 car. But like I said, I felt like this was a GR3 race, so I used the RX Vision GT3 concept because, well, it's one of the only GT3 cars I have. So here are my settings. I went to racing hard tires because you're going to need them to last. And other than that, I left it mostly stock set up, as if I can remember correctly. I don't even remember adjusting much of anything. I went with the fully customizable racing transmission and set it at 310. But more important than that, I went with the high RPM turbo. So very, very important. That puts my PP at 772.28. And that's all I needed. So then we just enter the race and get ready. Just get ready to send it. That's what we're going to do. So as we wait for the start, again, racing hard tires, you're going to need fuel and you are going to need tires during the race. So you're going to do your best to save fuel during the race and do your best to save the tires. But at the start here, you're going to have plenty of turbo power to get in front of this Porsche here before turn 1. So I didn't save any fuel right here. I just went for it, make sure I got all the way around the Porsche, and then broke right there before the black mark on the road where it kind of, the line goes all the way across the road. It was allowed me I have enough distance between me and the Porsche they wouldn't try and resend it back on me. Now you'll notice I am short shifting the car. I'm trying to not even really show that much red on the RPM gauge. I'm just, you'll see it right here. It'll come up a little bit and I'll just bang into the next gear. So that's all I'm doing. Hold it flat through this corner while your tires are fresh. As they wear out, that turbo really will spin up those tires, but you can hold it flat through there. And then I'm just trying to backside this corner in third gear, again trying to save some tires. I had that big turbo, so it's able to ring up the RPMs pretty quick. Down into second on this left-hander, back into third, and then just slowly rolling the throttle. That's the key to this race, winning this race. You're going to take it right here on the straight. This is where you're going to make up all your time. That big turbo is just going to suck in that air, and it's just going to eat the cars in front of you. You're going to gain all the mile per hour. So you can see I'm already up at 183 before we get to the braking zone for the bus stop chicane. As soon as I'm getting high into the rev band, I'm flipping the fuel meter up to 6. I go through the bus stop chicane, get back of Danny Solis a little bit there. Sorry about that, Danny. But you're just going too slow, man. Get by Danny, and then I bring back down into lean mixture 1. And then shift up through the gears. Now you can see now I'm starting to get high into 6th gear in the rev band. That's really when you start eating that fuel fast, is on these straights with this big turbo and the high in the RPM bands. So if you can go up to lean 6, you're just halfway and more on your 6th gear and your 5th gear. It seemed to be enough as far as the amount of fuel I needed to save to get ahead in the race. You can see I flipped the fuel back down to 1 there. And again, just shifting up through the gears slowly. Now, I tried this without the big turbo. I tried it on soft tires. I tried it on medium tires. I just couldn't ever seem to get out in front and maintain any kind of lead in a Group 3 car. Now, I've heard you can pretty much kill this challenge, I guess you could call it, with a Group 2 car that's detuned. But I wanted to try something that's a little more difficult. So I want to try and win it in a Group 3 car, and that's why I went with the Mazda Vision GT3 concept car. All right, so here we are on lap 2, and I am starting to catch up to Mr. Cocoburn here. As you can see, I'm putting down a purple lap. I've already got a 145 on the board, and that's what you want to be. You want to be in the 145s or below, and you don't really have to push the car that difficult to get into those 145s. Again, you see me going to lean mixture 6 here as we head towards the bus stop chicane. I'm just going to brake right there between the 2 and the 1. Again, you don't have to overdrive the car to win the race. You just need to drive smooth and not make any mistakes, because if you spin out, hit the wall, cost yourself some time, it can end up costing you the win. All right, so again, on that fuel mixture 6, heading towards the end of this lap, about to start lap number 3. Look down there, I've got 3.4 laps of fuel left. Outstanding. I only need 3 laps of fuel before lap 5. There's lap 3, lap 4, and lap 5. So 3 laps of fuel, so I'm ahead of schedule. So outstanding. Now, if you look in front of me, you will see it's Martin Grady. Now, Martin Grady, earlier in the game, he told me this: I pride myself on resilience, but I'm no match for you, Go Grady. And you know what? You're right, Martin Grady. You are not as resilient as me, because I'm about to show you resilience, because I'm going to win this race in Group 3, and I'm going to pass you right here, going into the left-hander here on the infield at Daytona. We rub a little doors there. We scratch and trade a little paint. Good times at Daytona. Go down the inside of McEwen after I take out Martin Grady, but I don't make it stick. Again, like I said, you don't really have to push it. Really, you can just pass most everyone here on the straight, and it should be enough to get you into the lead before the end of the race, depending on your opponent's pit strategy. Now, when I did this race on this exact setup, it looked like the leaders went with a 2-stop. So I don't know if they always go with the 2-stop strategy, if they go with a 1-stop. It seemed like when I was further back in the pack, they were going with a 1-stop. And then when I moved up in the first place, all of a sudden they switched their strategy to 2-stop. As you see, I missed the entrance to the chicane there because I was just carrying too much speed. So if you do that, just go through the grass, just let the car kind of settle down, and then come back through the rest of it. No need to panic. You don't need to panic anywhere. You'll be able to get this done. So here now I am catching up to Yamanaka, and I just blow by him with the power of the big turbo. So now heading to lap number 4, and I'm catching up to Miyazano. He is in front of me, and I believe it was the Lexus. We'll find out soon here when we catch up to them. But again, so through here, I would lift a little bit right there at the very beginning, that one little kink that came out, because sometimes I get the tires in the grass. And if you get on the gas too hard, too early, sometimes it would just spin up and make the rear end come out. So trying to avoid all of that. If I get in a situation where I think I might lose traction on one of these curves, I'll just lift a little bit and just wait and try and be patient for the long straight. As you can see, I got into the side of Miyazano, I cannot say his name, a little bit, just altering his line a tiny, just having some fun during the race a little bit, but wasn't pushing too hard. So again, big turbo, just eating up the competitors. As you can see, I'm about to fly on by Mikhail Hizal there. Goodbye, Hizal. So pulling up now on the Vantage of Mendoza. That Vantage is pretty quick around Daytona. So we get by him in the bus stop chicane. What a nice pass, though, I got to say. The cutback was tight. The crowd approves. Everyone's applauding Grady on a real pass. No Grady passes here. The AI not making a lot of mistakes. So once again, slipstream, not slipstream, but fuel map 6, and you'll see everyone's pitting. 21% fuel for Beauvoir, but Portilla, was his name is? He had quite a bit less, and I'm sitting at 26% fuel, so I am doing better than Beauvoir was. So that is good news. Looking good for me, as they came in on lap 4 a little bit early and with less fuel. Might get a pretty good jump coming out of the pit stops. Now, if you see, I've got about a 0.6 second lead over Fraga before we head down the straight. So you'll be able to see how much more power this Mazda has with this just honking big turbo. Looking down at the tires, you can see the tire wear starting to play a part. And I'm going to get off these tires. I'm going to put fresh hards on, because, again, I don't want to make any mistakes in the last 5 laps. As you can see, I'm in P1 now at the midway point, which to me is outstanding. I haven't taken my pit yet, but that's still a good sign that I might be able to hold quite a few positions. When I was doing the race, I was trying to get past the, when I come out of the pits, I want to be past 10th place. I want to feel like I've already passed half the field. So as we head in, you'll see I put about 1.7 seconds on Fraga just in the straight section with that big turbo. So I put the hards back on, and the pit crew comes out waiting on the Mazda to roll in. A few more people come to the pits. Only one person with more fuel, and that's Martin Grady. in the Audi R8. He comes in with 14% fuel. So good job there by Mr. Grady, aka Tidgeny, on saving some fuel in the WTC 800 race. So I'm just gonna fill her up. I'm gonna bring it all the way to the top and send it back out on those fresh hards and see where I come out. So bring her up, fill it all the way up, come out, and what you'll see here is I actually come out behind Fraga. So he must have underfilled the car a bit for the latter half of the race. But not a problem. I'm going to catch Fraga. As you saw, I put about 1.1 seconds on him in the straight alone. So it's not going to be an issue. As you can see there, quite a few people only coming up to 91, 95% fuel. But I put on a full load of fuel just so that I don't run out. There was no need to be skimpy on the fuel. Mostly I saved fuel in the beginning half of the race just so it was less to get back to full. I am 34 seconds off the leader, which is Hazal, and Portilla is right behind him. So about 34 seconds off the lead, but I'm in P5, which means at the halfway point, I have passed much more than half the field. In fact, I've passed about 3/4 of the field. So in the second half of the race, if I can just hold serve here essentially and pass the remaining part of the field, again, the front third of the field in the last half of the race, I will walk away with the victory in a Group 3 car here at the WTC 800. So right there you see Hazal goes in the pit and he's having to add a lot of fuel, and I'm just gonna see how that works out as we come around the bend. We'll see where the leaders are. Gonna get on the brakes there right after that black marker there. Now you see Hazal coming out of the pits on the left. The arrow shows him. That's him coming out of the pits. I am going by, so I have passed Hazal officially now, as he was ahead of me and pitted after me. But I was able to make the move there through, I guess, a better pit strategy, you would call it, and some better lap times. So now we are in third place with 3 laps to go. So on to lap number 8, still down by 24 seconds. So I've made up about 10 seconds to the leader, Portilla and Beauvoir, and they go. And Portilla goes into the pit. Only has 10% fuel left with 2 laps to go. Not going to be enough, so he had to go back in, get some more fuel. And I'm thinking, okay, that's good. I don't know how far back Beauvoir is, but I don't think he's that far ahead of me. I think I see him right there in front of me. The question is, can I pass Portilla? And then just as I'm coming around for lap number 9, Beauvoir goes in the pit as well. Needs to put some fuel in. I had 20% fuel left. And that's about 1 lap remaining. So he had to go in. He had to get more fuel because he needs 2 laps worth of fuel, which puts me in a 7-second lead over Miyazano as we head into lap number 9. So I'm like, okay, I finally found the right strategy with the right car to pull this off. I couldn't do it with the medium tires. It just didn't work for me. I couldn't do it with the soft tires, and I definitely couldn't do it with the regular turbo. I tried the medium turbo. I thought I might be able to pull it off with the medium turbo. But I'm telling you, this high RPM turbo just made it so much easier because you just put all that power down on the long straight to get the victory in this race. So heading here towards the left-hander, getting on the brakes there just before about the middle section of where that driveway comes in, where those cones are, and then get on the gas and just roll it in. Like I said, just roll in that gas. Starts to get dark out. Let's go through the lap guide here. Brake in there just after the black marker on the fence there. We're dropping it down into second gear. Fireworks are blazing. Watch me roll in the throttle here. Roll it in. Clip these curbs right here. Get on the brakes at about the halfway between those 2 light poles, and I call it the 2.5 mark on the light poles. I don't know what else to call it, but it's about halfway between those 2. And then you're heading now towards this fast left-hander. You can keep it flat through here, but you can see I lift here because it's the final lap, and I don't want to die. And then brake about halfway through where those cones are on the right. So about the middle of that. And then just try and backside this corner. I did a terrible job right there, but again, I'm on my last lap. Then I'm going to brake here about the middle of the cones on the driveway, drop it down in a second, get the car to rotate, then back up into third. Actually, I kept it in second there, but you can go back up into third and then roll the throttle in a little bit quicker than I did there. And then head towards the bus stop chicane. So it's the last major part of the track that you can possibly spin out on before the end of the lap. So lap 10 here, 3.8 second lead over Miyazano. We're going to break between the 2 and the 1 marker at that black light that's up on the fence there. Let it go down onto the curbs there in 4th gear, easing off, trying to set up the exit. Come out with about 91, 92 miles an hour and accelerating, which is about right. Fast guys usually can run through there with 93, 94, 95 miles an hour. I was a little bit slower than those guys do there, but still pretty good exit. And then just shift up through the gears and go to the end. So we're going to cross the line with a little over a 5-second lead to win the race. And like I said, you don't have to really push hard. Just drive smart, drive clean, and you too will be able to get a first place in a Group 3 car on the difficult setting here at Daytona in the World Touring Car 800. So hope you enjoyed these tips. I hope you're able to get a first place. Let me know in the comments if you did, or if you've already done it, or if you did it in a different car, different combo, or even a different GR3, a different combo. Be good for other folks to know what you can possibly run around this track. So if you enjoyed the video, I ask you to like and or subscribe. Come back and check out some more. We'll bring more GT7 content as time permits. And until next time, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.